So the first thing I read was about John Rawls' idea of justice and his theory of justice. And he believes in justice as fairness. He believes that if everyone is equal, no one that sees each other as equal is going to try to hurt each other. It's going to try to hurt their equal part. And he believes that everybody should be working together. He believes justice as fairness is the contract theory, and that we have this idea of a social contract that kind of John Locke talks about. When he brings up John Locke in his article, it talks about how if everyone truly sees each other as equal and everybody has the same stance when they first start in the first person, the original position, he calls it, if everyone has an equality and equalness towards each other, then there won't be any issues of no justice, because he believes that people that see each other as equal will not do injustices to each other, which is very true. I mean, it goes into a lot of detail. He has these two principles. One of them is each person is to have an equal right to the most extensive basic liberty, and that's what everybody wants. And I feel if everybody had the same equal right to liberty, people are doing less to hurt each other, because everybody thinks themselves as equal and everybody has the same liberty. He also says that social and economic inequalities are to be arranged so that they are both reasonably expected to be everyone's advantage and attached to positions and offers open to all. So it's basically, once again, stating that everybody gets the same opportunity at any aspect of life, and people can then build up to get higher rankings, but he wants everybody to start out at the same position. And if you start out at the same position and you see each other as equals, no matter if a woman or a man or color, then everybody is then working together and not trying to hurt someone that they see as equal, because he believes that if you're equal, like I said, you won't hurt the people around you. And it's a very interesting article. I think it's a little flawed, because I think, once again, power corrupts, and once people start to want to get power, they're going to want to get more and keep it, and if other people are trying to get that power, it's not going to work. And a question I would, I guess, have for this article is, why is he kind of not understanding the power that power has, the control that power has over people when they get into positions of power, which has been shown over time and even is expressed through other philosophers and other theories when it comes to the idea of justice. Now, the second reading about Robert Nissick's political philosophy, it also talks a lot about this too. He also has an idea of anarchy, state, and utopia. He has a book on it, and the book kind of opens with famously bold claim that individuals have rights and that there are things no person or group may do to them without violating their rights. So once again, him and Roll kind of are on the same page of believing that everybody should have the same rights. And they both kind of feed into the idea of Locke and the idea that we all need to have like a social contract and be equal with each other. And he kind of wants to focus, or at least Nissick's argument is that utopian aspirations provide a complementary route to the benediction of the minimal state. He's saying that we have to work towards utopia. He believes that utopia will work, and he believes that moral rights are understood as state of nature rights. This is that they are rights that precede and provide a basis for assessing and constraining not only the actions of individuals and groups, but also the conduct of political and legal institutions. So what is this saying? It's saying that through the natural rights and through moral rights, we should all be working together in every aspect of political and legal institutions, and all institutions be working together to help people. It's a very interesting article. It's very parallels a lot to John Rawls, and they both parallel to each other a lot, where they both talk about the idea of having people work together, and the idea of working like John Locke or Rousseau, like I said, stating earlier, Rousseau's idea of the social contract and John Locke's idea of the state of nature, and that people won't basically inherently do things wrong, and people will need each other to work together, like the idea that Plato has that there's no one can do anything by themselves, and that you have to have Plato says no one can be self-sufficient. Like humans are not self-sufficient, and humans have to work together to find ways to be successful and be equal and have justice so that it can continue on in a proper state. And a question I would have for Nissick is kind of what, I guess, what is the basis for moral, or not, a question I would have is, what are the basis for moral rights? Because it's obviously different by religion. What can we find a basis for moral rights, and what would that look like?